So how do you get taxes in Manor Lords? So this is going to be from the manor. So as you see, once you've opened it up, so you get it from the construction and you'll get it from the administration section. So a manor obviously requires you to have a small village at a minimum, grants 250 in influence, as you can see in the top right. I've only got one, and rises the administration level by 1. After building your first manor, you will obviously get the extra perks for it. So as you see here, we've got influence required by diplomacy and pressing claims. Can be gained from the tithing, conquering and upgrading your churches and also the manor. You then have multiple things that you've got. So you've got annual royal tax, you've obviously got king's favour, and then you've got the treasury. Your personal money usually collects from taxes, can be used for diplomacy and all of the other good stuff. So as you'll see if we go into it, you have got the general. You can open up the castle planner, which is basically to make your manor look a little bit more pretty. You can then have the fuel reserves, which is perfect. You have the people, and finally you have the taxes. So we've got the obvious church side of stuff. You've obviously got the land tax, and obviously as you kind of go with more tax, you'll see that it's predicted approval loss. So if I go all the way up, if I go to 100%, you'll see that it will lose a 73%. So obviously then if we went for the church, then obviously you can kind of go up a little bit more and then be less annoyed. So if I was to go, for instance, 10 here, we've obviously got trade tax, we've got mercenary tax, citizen, and then all of the other good stuff. So if I'm going to keep it like that, we will then gain taxes from that as well. So that is just something to always consider. But the one thing that you want to make sure that you've got is a very good amount of approval already, because this is not going to go down very well. Then obviously when you're looking at the different churches, you can obviously go for the stone church, which I think is granted a little bit later on once you've got a better village, and you should be able to upgrade it. But that's going to be the kind of start that you can do with this. When it comes to the taxes side of stuff, if I go ahead and kind of fast forward my game a little bit, just so it can show you the plus, because what you can also use the taxes for is by gaining other settlements. So as you can see, if I go into construction, we go to here, we go to seller's camp, you see that I need 250, and then I can command over this reign then. So I don't know how quickly it will come in on 10%, but we'll soon see in a second. Obviously I've set up everything, so it should, as long as I keep this going, it should just grant its time over, so it really shouldn't ever run out of anything now. And then if I add more people in, that's when we can go with it. So as you can see, we have taxation, we have -7, so that is taking my approval rate down to 74. But as long as you've got, like I say, the good stuff coming in, you should be pretty golden for it, because it should balance itself out as long as you don't do too much tax. I can imagine if you went really greedy with it, then that is when you're going to actually find a little bit of a struggle with it. So I would kind of go with a very slow approach with this, because you want to get it right. Even if you kind of go to the 10% now and think, okay, we can kind of deal with that, and then maybe you want to tax the church a little bit more. As you can see, we don't actually lose anything more there, but it will depend on who is actually in the church. So at the minute, as you can see, I have got nobody there. So if I put somebody in there, we can actually get something. So as you see, this is the upgrade, so we can upgrade to a small stone church. Fulfills 2 level of faith and residential requirements. So we do need to have a few more stuff for that. So we need to have roof tiles, so I would have to find out how on earth I managed to make roof tiles as well. But as you can see, we've already gained 2, I'm going to shoot either 2 gold coin or £2, whatever the currency is actually in. That will kind of then go over each month. So if I kind of keep going with this, you can see that my morale's gone up again. And we can kind of see if people are being kind of taxed on the next month as well, as we're in August at the moment. And hopefully it should go to the next month in a second, and we can kind of see how long it will actually take with a 10% and a 20% in this kind of taxation period. Also, if you wanted to add more, so we can see here, the budget plot caused a loss. Check the panel. What on earth is that? Oh, food store supply. So I need more food. Okay, I wonder why that is. We'll soon find out, but we will add another thing in. But as you can see, we have got the 4 taxation. That is how you kind of start the tax. Then you can obviously go a little bit more. We've obviously got policies available now. And then, like I say, you can utilize that for all of the other good stuff. So we've got things that are exposed, apparently. We'll go sort that out. That is how you tax in Manor Lords. Let me know if you have any other hints yourself.